Okay, and we're gonna record. That's just for my own purposes to get some feedback from my residency coach. So welcome to the Reading PLC. We're planning for the week of August 25th through the 29th. These are some of our norms. Mr. Lima, can you please read the first one?
Be respectful of time, start on time, end on time, stay on topic.
Perfect, no problem. And I know that obviously you thought that Rosada was not, since she's not here, but we're gonna do it. Mr. Lira, can you read the second one?
Actively lesson in engagement and be open to the service.
Thank you. So again, this is our time to collaborate. Our idea is that you are working together, that we can kind of align ourselves with obviously the pre-work that you've done and what we want to plan for next week. Remember to share the mic, celebrate often, and one band, one sound. Just to go over our vision and mission. Remember your last name again?
Olivares.
Olivares, can you please read our vision?
We envision a school where students grow towards excellence and become the top choice for family.
Perfect. Thank you, Ms. Medina. Our mission?
Our mission is to support, value, and inspire students to be cheerful, professional by providing excellent instruction.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Unit 9.
Okay, so this is a little bit of our agenda. I know that obviously it kind of changed. Yesterday I know Sala, but obviously we're going to be doing the same thing. So we'll go over I just welcome everyone. So we'll go over the celebrations. We'll go over reading updates.
No, Maynard is out today.
Discuss a little bit about that new component with the video. Review RSPs. Talk a little bit about the TEKS. And not only I want to hear about the breakdown, but I want to know that obviously we have 2 days of testing. So are you following the schedule? Are you behind? I know probably you're behind. Everybody's behind. Don't worry. So and we'll be using the see it, name it, and do it form. Okay. And then you have some time to work on anchor charts, to work on Excel tickets, anything you need to do on your. So celebrations for 3rd grade. So shout out to 100% of 3rd grade classrooms. Focus wall is ready. Kudos to you. 100% also have seating arrangement to maximize student learning experience and have door greetings posted. You guys are awesome. Okay, and this is just some of the look fors that we'll be continuing checking your classroom. Just make sure you have your lesson objective, your SC, your TEKS breakdown, and your exemplars posted. Desk arrangements, you already have that. Respect agreements, door greetings, and calming areas. And for those 2, I heard the counselors are going to be supporting you guys with those 2. And obviously remember to use the callbacks. I've really enjoyed hearing everyone. I had somebody that said yesterday, and this is not a political way or anything, but somebody said like, Bernie, Sanders. We're taking it too far. Okay, and here's some of the look fors that we've seen. The focus wall, some calming areas, a word wall, and obviously your TEKS. Okay. So let's go ahead and get down to 3rd grade. And I know that we have some SR and some ELAR. Okay, I am mostly supporting SR, but we will cover. Okay, so we're going to just go over. Did everybody had a time to go over the video? I know that that was sent late yesterday. Okay, don't worry about that. Moving forward, I heard that the expectation is that we're also going to be looking at the video and going through the questions as part of our pre-work. And if you didn't see the questions, I made some copies. We're going to answer them all. I just want to give you the copy today so you can have it for the future as well. Do you need one? No problem. Okay, so for is that Keeler right there? Yes. No, that's SR. Okay, so for SR, we have on Monday we're covering 3.8. Is that friction? 3.8A. La lectura estoy aprendiendo a inferir, so es inferencing. Puedo comprender de qué se trata una obra literaria para inferir el Damn, and I want to make sure that everybody's aware of the clarity document. Is everybody is aware? So when we are discussing or going over like, oh, what strategies are you using, or what anchor charts were you using, there's some ideas there, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Now for ELAR, is that the same TICS for next week? You know, 3.8A? They're different? Okay, so we'll talk about those in a second. So it looks like for the first, for the entire week, we're talking about inferencing and supporting the students on how to make inferences based on the author's purpose or author's message. And then the books that you're reading is El Señor Tejón, Dulce Domún Parte 1. So those are our SR. Are you guys will be covering that facing next week, or are you behind and you're doing you're covering something else?
No, we're doing that. We already started with this team this week.
Okay, awesome. Okay, how did it go?
It's going well for one class, and the other one, I think maybe another lesson, and then they'll be away.
Okay. And any strategies that you guys are using just as visuals wise, or how you anchoring that team for that? I don't see it for anything, so. I don't know.
Well, I don't have a strategy necessarily for inferencing. I do have a strategy for how to write your answer. You know, the inferencing, I just gave them several examples, and before I start the lesson, I have them think about other examples. You know, like, okay, si yo llego y estoy empapado y estoy y traigo una sombrilla, ¿qué podemos inferir acerca del clima afuera? You know, so I make them think about it, and they come up with their own examples, and then we jump into the text. That way they already know que es hacer una inferencia.
That's a great idea. Yeah, and start with obviously small chunks, bite sizes for our students, because they might, if you read it, sorry, it might be a little bit not to their level at this time, but I like that.
But also the guided questions at the end, they're already asking for making inferences. So he has suggested using the brain strategy for them to answer
Yes.
questions using the evidencia del texto. But if they use that same brain strategy to answer the questions based on inferences, you have already taught them the strategy using the same strategy that we said.
Yeah.
So then they just need to, for now, I don't see them writing on their own the
Yes.
answer.
Mhm.
So I would just like have it like fill in the blanks. For example, un tema de amistad en el cuento es entre Topo y Rata, cuando, and then blank, and then they will insert when did that happen within the story.
Yeah.
And then the same thing I used as the example using the activity book, because they had to list an example of amistad and an example of hospitalidad. Those aren't making inferences, but they had to answer, and then they had to use the same strategy you suggested. So that strategy can be used for making inferences within the text, right?
Yeah, for sure. As we continue to collect more data, and obviously you've had them now for 2 weeks, so you can collect on those observations. But yeah, you might, once we have them tiered, you might have some students that might not need any support. So you might have some students that can benefit from that, like a sentence stem. Like I could really see that being beneficial. So yeah, just looking at the clarity document, I know it's always in English as well, Mr. Lira. So you can go here, and it has some of those. This is a PACE strategy. So it's for active reading, and it also has some examples of some anchor charts that you can be doing, and that supports. Again, that's something that you can also create in your classroom and do it with your students to be actively referring to when they're going into a lesson. Okay, so it looks like we're covering the same LO, todas acerca de inferir. Mr. Lira, for your week, are you preparing? What strategies are you using?
Well, right now I'm gonna start with vocabulary. I'm using the
KW?
WC. I'm using it on the read aloud.
Uh-huh.
ABCD for vocabulary, word, clue, and then definition. And then for the strategies, I'm using the KWL.
Good. So Ibaris, anything that you want to add, anything that is working well in your classroom? Are you doing inferencing already as well?
So we're just chit-chatting over
Okay.
here. So what we kind of talked about, since I'm the ELAR, they get the Spanish, the reading part, I think I'm gonna focus more on the writing.
Okay.
So my strategies would be like Race Acer or ACE that I've worked before.
Mhm.
We would probably I'll have to keep in touch with my colleagues to see where they are in the story and where I can draw from there to kind of organize my writing, my prompts. I will be using though, if they're in PACE with the IPC, I will be using the IPC SCRs to be aligned with them. But I think that's what we're gonna mainly focus, just because I mentioned I'll try with my first class, since we're doing 3-way rotations now, to do the reading part. It's just a lot.
Yes.
To where it cuts off my math, and I'm like, so then in my next class, I'm like, okay, it was just too much, I have to chunk it. But I think that's a good idea to focus on the writing portion. So, if you don't have much time with it, writing will be kind of like my focus.
Yeah, we're already, starting next week, I'm already gonna have them write these answers on their own learning and learning how to type and everything, because ultimately that's what they're gonna have to do.
Yeah. So someone else was mentioning online learning as well. And as far as assessments, do we have any assessments for this week?
No, but I saw that there's gonna be an assessment on week 4 already. That was on the video.
From the Amplified?
Yeah, there's a week 4 test. I'm not sure if it's on Amplify, but it was on the weekly video that we watched, which is kind of like, it's coming up and kids barely know how to.
I know. So since you're bringing
Also-
up the event,
Sorry,
No.
I've noticed that, so these SCRs, like, the way that we have it there, it's asking for them to answer the SCR after a whole story. And I tried a couple of days of reading the whole story and everything.
not there yet.
What I'm doing is, okay, the story's too long. I'm grabbing, using paragraphs. 3 paragraph stops. I'm not reading the whole story, so that's something that I'm also feeling like, okay, the story is getting choppy a little bit, because I don't have the time to read the whole story. I'm selecting 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph, I asked ChatGPT to generate a question obviously related to my LO, right? We have to make inferences. That's the paragraph I'm gonna read and do the I do. Second paragraph, we do together. Third paragraph, they do it. This is the theory and how it should work. I still haven't gotten to the you do part, because the I do and we do, it takes forever. But I'm having to come up with new questions, because this SCR, for instance, they need to know the whole text, and there's never time to read the whole text. And well, there is, but go ask them a question in the end of the text and see if they can. It needs to be in chunks, So that's the modification that I'm doing.
So the SCR, so la respuesta escrita, corta?
Yes.
So those, yeah, and those can also be used as your exercises as well. But like I said at the beginning, and this is just me doing superficial observations, there's a lot of scaffolding that is gonna need to happen, and you might need to break it down into bite-sized pieces, because like you said, maybe the entire reading will just be appropriate at the beginning of the okay. Any questions, concerns? I know that you brought up the videos. So did everyone? I passed the paper, so you have some of the questions. I'm just gonna ask some or read some. So you have. So how does this week lesson connect identified standards to prior learning to build toward the future content and support the overall goals of the unit? Okay, so a little bit more about the pacing and knowing which ones are those high leverage standards that we need to be hitting for STAR as well. What is the most important learning this week, and why does it matter for student growth and mastery? We're talking about inferencing, so that will be like our high leverage stick for this week. Which instructional strategies or tools will you use this week, and how will they support all learners in assessing and mastering the content. Another thing that I was going to suggest, Ms. Olivares, a lot of vocabulary at the beginning of the year with our kiddos. Utilize that word wall. In our case, where you are earlier the year. In SLR as well, a lot of vocabulary, a lot of visuals, and a lot of modeling in the beginning. Okay?
Also, I'm noticing, and because I'm coming from math, our success criteria here, because in math, if there's a success criteria, there will be a question that involves each item of the success criteria, right? So today, for instance, it is the same T, we already started inferencing. In our LO, there's 3 heavy loaded words, which is inferir, tema, y tópico. So that already took me forever to explain which, like what they
The
meant.
difference,
And then when I went to the questions, yes, there is preguntas de inferencia, but not so much about tópico and tema. And so like you're supposed to be referencing back your success criteria as you're teaching. And then when I tried to do that, it didn't work out because the questions, the amplify didn't really go to the success criteria. So anyways, I'm saying this because I needed to come up with a whole new slide and from scratch. Whereas in math, everything is already there.
Yeah, you'll find the reading a little bit more. It takes a little bit more to get adjusted. Yeah, but thank you for bringing that up because I know that probably everyone in the room is having those issues as well. Yeah, those are things that we need a scaffold for our kiddos and see. Okay, so everybody clear with the questions? I know the expectation moving forward is that you watch the video and complete those questions. We're gonna give you some time now. This is time for you to collaborate, to work on those exit tickets. If you need to work on the slides, make sure that we are kind of aligned with our pacing for next week. And we'll be walking around. Ms. Alira, you're more than welcome. If you have any questions, please let me know.